You know we're going against the grain, so let's go ahead and tell them what we got on the agenda today.
So today we are going to be talking about how awesome our president, our leader, our master and commander,
Mr. 80 million votes himself,
Joe Biden, has been doing in his first 100 days.
Trash.
I mean, not according to CNN. You can't go say trash.
80 million votes. 80 million votes, man. You should have served all hunger in the United States of America, because with 80 million votes, that's like the most votes in presidential history, bro.
It actually was.
Like, he got more votes than Obama.
And actually, what it was is that more people voted, and we can't say that, that any of it was illegitimate or anything like that.
No.
It was just because this guy inspired so many people to go out and not only vote for him because he's so awesome, but also to vote against Trump. Because he sucks so bad, apparently.
Absolutely.
That we had to get him out of office in order to, I don't know, fix what was wrong with America.
Yeah.
I mean, there were apparently so many things wrong with America.
So many things.
And now they're just fixed. Magic.
Yeah. Right.
Like that. Just like that.
So one of the problems was that gas prices were terribly too low.
Yeah, no kidding.
Biden was
$2,
like, you know what?
sub $2 in some places.
What? Biden said, fuck that.
People out of their minds paying that little for gas.
If it's not $3, I'm not trying to hear it. American standards.
You remember, I mean, obviously you remember back, 2008, 2009, how expensive gasoline got.
Dude, thanks, Obama.
Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. I remember paying at least $4 for gas at one point, and I know it was even worse in other places. Like in California, I want to say it got up to upwards of $5
yeah. It got
per gallon.
Pretty bad. It got really bad during those times, during the, the Obama administration.
Oh, yeah.
Like we thought that a lot of things were going to get better, but I'll tell y'all as a black man, Obama didn't do nothing for us. That was like the biggest waste of time.
I feel like he caused a lot more division between races than he actually fixed. Like he came in as this arbiter of, we're going to fix this. But then there was so much like race mongering that came out of his mouth, and so much like, what is the word for it? I'm losing the word. But anyway, so that there was so much that he just like, he instigated like white people and black people against each other.
Right.
Like for the whole time that he was in office.
Right. But you want to know something, man? The one thing that I like about our talk show is that we're neutral parties, man. Like we're going to call everybody out on their shit. Like I remember there was one point where before, I started educating myself on what was going on in this country. I was really a far left-hand guy.
So back Obama's second term, if I had been in the type of mindset that I was like, oh yeah, my vote actually counts, and I was going to go out there and vote, I would have voted for Obama.
Right.
That's just where my mindset was back then. And I didn't, a lot of it wasn't because I just didn't do a lot of research back then.
Right.
I heard things and I was like, oh yeah, I agree with that. And, I just kind of went with it. And there's still a lot of like liberal policies and stuff like that I'm perfectly fine with. Like, I'm all for gay marriage. I'm all for, if you want to be transgender, be transgender. Just
absolutely
don't make me, call you whatever you think you believe you are or whatever it is. Like, if you want to cut yourself up and do whatever, more power to you.
Live your life.
I know, we might have talked about this before, but we both have tattoos. We both know what it means to change your body and alter your body. And we don't really have a problem with it. It's just when you start enforcing your views and your choices on other people,
right,
that we have a problem with it. So, then there's a lot of, and I think that's kind of changed here probably in the last 10 years or so, especially like with conservatives, because I hang around a lot of conservative like circles.
Right.
And just the view on gay marriage, most people that I talk to, they don't necessarily have a problem with it, like socially. It's more of a religious thing to them.
Right.
And we all, according to the Bible, we all live in sin. So, and we all are guilty of something. And this is just something when you're being a homosexual or partaking in that sexual lifestyle, it's just something that you're partaking in, and it is sinful, and you should be able to call yourself out on it and be like, yeah, might not be living the right way or the best way or anything like that, but that's okay because we're all sinners,
right.
So, but I feel like that's kind of been the trajectory of how the conservative movement is kind of leaning toward now. It's not so much as it's disgusting and blah 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 like it used to be.
Right.
So I feel like they've gotten a little bit more progressive on that stance.
Well, I don't really think that, like, for me, I don't ever think that, like, the whole gay and transgender thing has ever been a problem for me. I think the biggest problem is the way that they handled it, bro. And that the way that they're so forcibly putting this on us and on our children.
Oh, the children thing is absolutely disgusting.
The fact that they're talking about that Joe Biden and his administration are trying to make it legal for kids under 18 years old to cut off their genitalia, change their sex, but they can't even go out and get a driver's license until they're 16. They can't drink until they're 21. They can't smoke until they're 18.
Oh, 21 now in Texas.
21 now.
Yeah, it changed last year.
Wow.
So yeah, now in order to buy tobacco products now in Texas, you have to be 21 years old.
Right.
So, but at the same point, it's not only that they're trying to, push it down our throats and say, yeah, you have to be able to do this for kids, but they're actually trying to make it child abuse if you don't.
Right.
So if your child is confused in adolescence, which many children are, just being children. I mean, brain development doesn't really stop for men until they're 25 years old, and like early 20s for women. So I mean, it's very easy for a child, especially like a 5 or 6 year old, who maybe they hang around, maybe say like my girls, they're around just the girls, and then they have male cousins, and if they're hanging around their male cousins all the time, they'll think, oh well, I want to also be a boy, or I want to act like this. So it's just they're confused on a very very small scale, and then we're trying to push into policies now, or at least the liberals are, that make it then illegal for you to not take that child's opinion.
Right.
But at the same point, we wouldn't take a child's opinion for anything else.
Right. They don't even know what they want to eat all the time. They don't even know how to take care of themselves with nutrition and how to eat a well-balanced diet. But you can let a child that's 8 years old tell you that they don't feel like they're a boy or a girl, and you can be like, okay, you want to be a girl or you want to be a boy, we can take those steps to give you hormone blockers, and you're going to cut off their genitalia, and you're going to change. Like, a lot of these people that go through these surgeries and become full transgender people regret it.
Oh yeah.
And they have studies that are showing these people that said, why would they let me do this to myself at such a young age?
And so it's really crazy that for whatever reason in this country now, that the trans movement, and it's such a nonsensical movement that we got going on right now. Because, on one hand, we're sitting there saying, oh yeah, men can be women, women can be men, right? Then you have on the same spectrum on the liberal side, you also have people fighting for women's rights. Well, which is it?
Right.
Can men just be women?
Right.
And then
this is where
are their women's rights?
Exactly. And this is my question,
are they
bro.
not part of the problem anymore? If a man identifies as a woman, but he's been a man his whole life, but all of a sudden, I mean, like Caitlyn Jenner, right?
Yeah.
So he for almost ever was a man.
Won the Olympic medals and everything.
And then he wants to be a woman, and he gets Woman of the Year award.
Right.
They give a man, a biological man, Woman of the Year.
Right.
And I don't hear any feminists getting up and being like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
But they're sitting there marching with these same people. It makes absolutely zero sense. It's so contradictory of each other.
It's just weird to me to think that someone that's a man can literally say they're a woman, go into a woman's lifestyle and live that way. They can play women's sports. They can, they're protected now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they can literally do whatever they want. I'm actually reading something.
Now, I will say that about Caitlyn Jenner, though. He came out and he actually said, it was some interviewer came up to him while he was leaving like a grocery store or a gym or something like that. And he was like, what do you think about biological males playing women's sports? And he said, it's unfair.
Yeah.
Straight up, he said it's unfair.
Shouldn't do it.
And he would know, being an Olympic gold medalist,
exactly
how unfair it would be for him to go compete in women's sports at this point.
He would have smoked him, bro. Dude, if you take someone like Usain Bolt and put him against a woman, Dude, he's gonna burn them by 50 meters.
No, not even a contest.
He's gonna blow them out the water before they even get out the blocks.
Yeah.
But then this is the thing that I'm really understanding what's going on right now is that the heterosexual man is under attack here in America.
Absolutely.
And being a heterosexual male, you as well, we sit here and we watch certain things and we're under attack and they're releasing certain things to try to force the heterosexual male to be more open to homosexuality. And it's not happening. So I read this one post. It's actually right here. It says, straight men must date trans women to combat hate and say activists. What?
I'm sorry, but
So you're telling me in order for there to be equality for trans people, we as heterosexual males have to leave our wives and we have to go have sex in relationships with other dudes, bro.
Right. You have to be gay.
I gotta be gay. Like
that's all it is. I don't understand the whole gender as a spectrum and gender and sexuality. I really don't understand that. Like I feel like there are basically two things. Either you like the opposite sex or you like the same sex.
Facts.
Or you're one of these crazy people that likes, going and doing stuff with animals and stuff.
Weird.
That's a whole nother subject.
Whole nother set of story, man. But do you want to know something that's really crazy to me, bro? Is that Joe Biden came in and he signed how many? 40?
It was actually 60-something executive orders.
60 plus executive orders.
In his first 100 days.
In his first 100 days. Dude, in his first month, like I think it was in his first 12 days, he signed 20.
I think a lot of that, so apparently about 24 of them, 24 out of the 60 executive actions that he took, 24 of them were directed at reversal of Trump policies.
Right.
So that was probably like day one stuff that he signed just to, get rid of whatever Trump was doing.
Do you know what really, really bothers me and gets my blood boiling about Joe Biden? This man comes on a talk show and says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
On the Breakfast Club.
Right? On the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God.
Yep.
Says if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Black people.
He tried to walk that back so hard too.
Go and look at these 40 or these 60 plus executive orders and see how many of them are pointed towards helping the black community.
I don't think a single one of them is
not
actually pointed
one.
at helping the African American
community. He has
community.
literally signed an anti-hate bill for Asians and transsexuals, but they have not yet in 400 years signed any executive order to protect the black people. We don't have any anti-hate bills. Nope. We don't have any kind of protection on that except for the fucking government and going to the judicial system.
And a lot of things too that they're trying to do. A lot of this with the whole defunding the police and stuff like that. None of that's going to help. Dude, none of that is helping.
Dude, I've been talking to a lot of my brothers and sisters. Ain't none of us talking about no defunding the police. What kind of dumb stuff is that? Now, educating the police, making sure that there's more, there's a stricter hiring policy when it comes to police, but taking away the police, who's going to stop the burglars?
Nobody.
Who's going to come in and they're taking away our guns? They're trying to? Who's going to protect you if they defund the police and they take away our guns?
You see that happening too, and people, you just got to be aware that a lot of this stuff that's happening, it's all in Democratic areas.
Yes,
like you just have to realize at some point you have to get off your pillow and eventually see that their policies are not there to help anybody in the African American community, anybody in the Asian community, anybody in the Hispanic community. They're not there to help y'all. All they're there for is to try to get your vote, to keep you under, and so that. For what?
What a lot of black people don't understand is that they're Democrats because they don't know any better and they don't know how to do their own research.
It's because they've been told that if you're not Democrat, then obviously you're either racist or you're just going along with the racist mindset.
They just
of
think
America
that Republicans are racist. That's not the fact. The Democratic Party was actually the ones that wanted to keep black people enslaved. But dude, it's like beating a dead horse trying to educate some of my people, bro.
Nobody picks up a history
And they
book
always
anymore.
think, oh, you're a Republican. No, I'm not going to say I'm a Republican, but I'm not going to claim a Democrat Party either.
Right.
But I'm going to vote for the person who is going to actually help this country and help my
Who has your best interest at heart?
Who has
right?
my best interest, bro?
Right.
You know what? We need a black woman as president. Candace Owens, please.
We've said
Please.
it once. We'll say it a million times.
I'm gonna say it a million. Candace, look, I will look. You go and vote. I guarantee you, I'm gonna be sending in 40 mail-in ballots. Guarantee you, you're gonna have 40 of my votes. Cause I ain't got to show ID. You gonna get 40, 50 of my votes, Candace.
That's the other thing is, how is that racist? So everybody that I've talked to,
God,
that when it comes to voter ID laws, right? So Georgia passed that a bill that you have to have voter ID in order to vote in Georgia now.
Right.
The MLB totally left, leaving millions and millions of dollars out of Georgia now. That goes to communities where a lot of black-owned businesses.
Yep.
But how is voter ID racist? I have not talked to one single person yet that can tell me how voter ID is racist.
Bro, what they're doing is they're picking and choosing their racist battles. These politicians are using the African Americans people's struggles to benefit themselves. They're not helping us. They're not doing anything for us. Everything they're doing is just to help their own agenda. Like, if we were really going to stop this stuff from happening, dude, they could easily come into, some impoverished areas, right? And they could come and change some things, bro. But they don't want to change them because it fits their policy. If you look at most of the impoverished areas that are mostly African American in these hoods, in these, inner cities, dude, everything that's happening there is made because they don't want anything to be fixed, right? They don't put jobs out there. And then on top of that, they're preventing the African American people from building themselves up. Because if there's only 1,000 jobs in the city and there's 40,000 people, what are they supposed to do?
It's almost like slow, like really, really slow segregation is what they're doing. That's almost what it is. Like almost to a T, is that they're driving out these people, and a lot of it is they're driving out white people because white people don't want to be in areas where high crime and stuff like that.
True.
And a lot of the African American community, they are impoverished and they do need help, and they aren't as easily able to just go, okay, I'm going to move. So now you just left with just that's all it is.
And then we got gentrification. So there are some places that are impoverished, but they just got so much money now. They're just going and pushing these people out. Dallas is one of them, man. I'm from Dallas, and I just see constantly how they're just pushing more and more impoverished places and pushing those people out so that they can build more condos and more apartment buildings so that, everybody from California that's running. And let me tell y'all something from Cali. Don't bring that Cali stuff here to Texas. There's a reason you left Cali.
Yep.
We are red here, and we're not turning. Okay.
Well, it's not even necessarily that. It's bad policies. You can be a liberal. You can have that mindset, but don't push the bad policies as why you're leaving. If it's high taxes, don't vote for high taxes. Don't vote for people that are going to put higher taxes on you. If it's the homeless situation and how poorly that California handled that, don't vote for people that are going to do the exact same things in Texas and just turn Texas into California. Don't do it.
If y'all need an example, Texas, look at our three major cities: Dallas, Austin, and
Houston.
And Houston,
Yep.
right? If you go to San Antonio, is it Austin or San Antonio? I think it's Austin.
Austin has a very
It
high
is
homeless,
just like Cali. Literally, the homeless can just pop tent right there in the middle of the sidewalk in your front, like right in front of your house, wherever they want. They can just put up tents anywhere, right on the side of the highway. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want. Why is that fair for the people who are working hard, paying their taxes,
Right.
doing the things that they need to do. If anything, we need to defund these politicians.
Absolutely.
How about that? How about we start defunding the politicians?
I'm getting really to a point where I'm just so sick of every single politician. There's so many politicians on the right and the left that they're so disingenuous about what they actually wanting to do. And they'll go out there and they'll talk a big game, like even Ted Cruz. So I got a beef with him when it comes to tech censorship.
Yeah.
Right. Is we can have all these hearings that y'all want. You can keep having them every couple months, but actually do something.
Right.
I mean, we've been fighting with this about
Right.
Google and Facebook and YouTube censoring people, and nothing's coming of it.
It's because people are paid off, bro. They're too deep, bro. The reason that nothing is changing and we keep seeing these policies is because it hits our level, we hear it.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about it. But once it gets to the Senate and all of this and it gets to the court, these people have people in their pocket. They have people that's on their team, so it's not going to go further than that.
It's all theatrical at that point.
Think about Hillary Clinton. She went to trial twice during the quarantine and we haven't heard anything about it. What about those emails, Hillary? What about Russia?
It got real quiet. Like after Trump won, like didn't really hear anything about it.
Nothing.
It was just it's all for show.
They play us, man. They play us all the time. And the thing about it is, people don't ask enough questions. We don't hold these politicians accountable. Defund the politicians, bro. Let's start that.
Defund the politicians.
That's our new. Hey, everybody understand this. Our new catchphrase is defund the politicians. Okay? There should be no such thing as a career politician.
Absolutely not.
There should be no such thing as a politician serving for 50 years.
Yeah. And I was actually looking,
50
like
years.
I said, I hadn't gotten into politics until it was probably about 4 years ago now, maybe 4 or 5 years. And I started kind of getting a lot more into politics. I didn't realize how long Nancy Pelosi had been Speaker of the House.
She's owned slaves.
Like
that's how old
not only
she
that,
is.
but just Speaker of the House, the job that she holds currently, she's been in that since Barack Obama's first term.
Yeah, she's been in there.
At least. And I haven't looked any more into it, but I know for at least that long.
I'm pretty sure she was in the house when JFK and, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of them was shot on her watch.
I don't know about that. I ain't going to claim that, but...
Look at the times. I bet y'all won't go look back and see how long she's been in office.
Right.
The woman's like 80.
Yeah. And she doesn't care about the people.
She doesn't at all.
None of these
about that. I don't know if she owns slaves.
None of these career politicians, none of them actually care.
Nothing.
If they did, then they would be trying to get stuff done and not just doing stuff that benefits them.
See, the thing about politicians that I'm understanding is that it's not these policies and stuff that they make. It's not about the people. It's about them, what they think should be done. You know, what makes them feel comfortable in the city or the situation that they're in, and what can push them to further their career as a politician.
Absolutely.
See, a lot of these politicians, like what's her name? Joe Biden and Kamala, right? Kamala. You know what she did to get to the top.
Oh, yeah. No, that was...
it's out there.
But nobody wants to talk about it. It's not even a conspiracy at this point. It's not even conspiracy. It's like actual fact.
She got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
And no one says anything.
And not only that, but all the policies that just put black people in prison,
dude,
that she enforced,
she was
perfectly fine with.
Number one DA prosecutor in California history. She incarcerated more black people than any other lawyer in history, bro.
But yet, she's the best for the country.
But we're gonna listen to her as black people, right?
Just the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. The way that she's kind of propped up as like this historical figure now, when she was either second or third least person to get votes. She dropped out of the primaries before
Biden go edit once? And she was like, Biden's racist.
She called him a racist,
and she said that he was cooperating with Russia. She said all of these things about him, and we just forget about it.
And then she's all buddy with him once. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be my running mate." She's
we
like,
did it, Joe.
I was just saying that because I was on TV. Like, so disingenuous.
literally though. How can she call him racist and literally have a debate with him, call him all these disgusting, nasty things, basically call him a rapist, doing all these things, and then a few years later, she's like, this is the best man in the world. He's not racist.
It makes no sense.
It
makes zero sense. And that's part of the reason a lot why Trump was so hated.
Yeah.
Was because he was not a politician.
Yep.
And he would just say whatever. I mean, he said some crazy stuff.
No filter.
Crazy stuff.
He didn't sugarcoat nothing, bro. And you know what? I like that about him.
Right.
I like the fact that he came out and he gave it to us just like it is.
Yep.
Raw. But that's the thing about it. America, we're soft now, bro.
Oh yeah. We
can't take criticism. We can't take the truth. Everyone wants to be lied to. That's why social media is such a big thing, because people can lie about everything.
Yeah.
They can accept when you don't want to accept the truth, you block it.
Oh yeah.
You unfollow it.
And and that's the thing, and it's just laziness, because instead of hearing a lie and then going and doing some research and seeing whether or not you can prove it wrong, you just want to be told that, oh, this is a lie. So now we have fact checkers.
Yes.
So you say something crazy, or you say something even that they don't like, and
you don't even have to say nothing. They literally scan every picture. You don't even have to say vaccine or COVID. It can be a picture of somebody coughing, and it'll say, do you need COVID information?
So I made a post the other day about people that take their selfies with their vaccine cards.
Oh my God.
I did a post about that, and I don't even remember if I mentioned COVID in it, but I had the word vaccine, and I was like, stop, virtue signaling for the little thing. That's all you're basically doing. And a little thing popped up at the bottom of my post, like, COVID vaccine information here. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, seriously?
I swear, it's like everybody who gets a vaccine, they get the shot and they just get onto their phone. They're like, hey, who's coming with me?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to die with you, bro. You're going to die alone with the rest of these, these vaccine takers.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, if you think that you're going to change my mind by posting a selfie with your vaccine card, I said, stop. I said, the people that are going to go get the vaccine have already made up their mind and are going to go get the vaccine. And the people that aren't going to get the vaccine are not going to get the vaccine.
Facts.
So stop trying to virtue signal. Stop trying to say, oh, I wouldn't do this for your fellow man.
This is my question. So if these people who get the vaccine get sick and they're actually messed up from this, if us anti-vaxxers laugh at them, is that wrong? Because we tried to tell you it's funny now. Now it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of that's going to kind of be, I think, a personal empathy level, whether or not you have any. And quite frankly, at this point, with as hard as they're trying to push it, I don't have a lot of empathy for the people that are sitting there.
Listen, they don't even push health. They don't even push health as much as they push the vaccine.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. No, it's true.
When was the last time anyone saw anything from Joe Biden or Kamala or the World Health Organization or anything on how to boost your immune system, on how to eat healthy, on not how to be or not to be obese,
and even how to actually properly consume vitamins,
right?
And the vitamins that you need each day,
or how to properly get rid of your PPE, your mask.
Yep.
They don't talk about cleaning them. They don't talk about having to get a new one every day. They just say put on 2.
They'll throw out a video about how to wash your hands, but that's about it. So, but there's so many other things that you can do to improve your health, and it's not even just. I mean, there's so many nature remedies that you can use.
Right.
Just and
ginger root.
You don't have to pump yourself full of drugs all the time, and that's what we've kind of become in this country.
Yeah.
Is just a country solely dependent on drugs and the drug industry. Mm-hmm. I mean, every time you get a headache, you go for a Tylenol. Every time you get a stomach ache, you go for Pepto. I mean, it's so ridiculous, and there's so many different things that ginger root. Eat some ginger.
Elderberry.
Your stomach will start feeling better. I mean, it's so easy to find natural remedies.
You got a stomach ache? Get some peppermint.
That
works too.
Yeah, so many different things that you can use, and nobody teaches that. Instead, they teach you, okay, well, yeah, you got to use this drug or this drug. And our health industry, our medical professionals too, they are not taught nutrition like hardly at all.
No, you have to go to school as a nutritionist to know what nutrition is, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, every medical professional, nurse, doctor, whatever you are, you should be trained in nutrition and be able to know, at least to what it pertains to your field of medicine, what things can help naturally to help your patients before you start going to drugs to start fixing things.
Yes. That's why they're trying to silence a lot of these people like Dr. Sebi and all of that, and they silenced those people because they were bringing out the truth and they were doing things to actually help people that normally, Big Pharma is not doing right now. Big Pharma wants you to take one medicine long enough for it to mess you up to get another medicine to counteract that medicine.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to need, and so to protect your insides, your organs, you got to take another medicine so it doesn't mess up your It's like, man, it's an ending cycle.
And then you end up on one of those commercials. Did you take this drug while blah, blah, blah?
Oh my God.
You may be entitled to a lawsuit.
Dude, I'm telling you, in 10 years, that's what's going to happen. Did you take the COVID vaccine back in 2021? Well, you and your family could be entitled to. Yeah, I'm telling you,
compensation.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm just a little sad. I'm not going to get any of that compensation. I got to be honest. I'm a little sad.
I identify as a vaxxer. If anybody asks me,
do, right?
You know what? Deep in my heart, I feel I've been vaccinated.
Yeah.
I feel because I'm so healthy that I feel every day I wake up vaccinated.
There's no way that you didn't get the vaccine with how healthy you are right now and how scary coronavirus is right now.
Dude, I am terrified of corona. I'm so but I identify as a terrified person.
Yeah.
And that's what matters. Is that how I feel on the inside?
I'm gonna identify as somebody who doesn't have to give a crap anymore. That's all I want to do.
Oh my!
Somehow I can do that.
I cannot believe the stuff that we have going on.
But then at the
country.
same point, like you have these other doctors, right, that are getting silenced for trying to push good policies and good health and stuff like that. But then you have Anthony Fauci sitting there, our Lord and Savior, Anthony
Mr. Fauci himself,
and this
Dr.
dude,
Fauci,
this dude is getting paid. He's getting paid for all these vaccines that he's pushing. He's getting paid for all the research that he's done already into these vaccines.
Well, if y'all really think about it, go and do some research. Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates actually own the coronavirus.
See, that's crazy. That's
how do you own a virus?
And he was working.
They have a patent on it.
I forget who. Somebody was writing a book on it, but even with I want to say that it was the AIDS whole situation, that he had a hand in that too, and that he got like millions of dollars for research and development of stuff on that.
Because that's what I want to know. I want to know how people like Pelosi, Fauci, Biden, they're millionaires now. How can you be a career politician and be a millionaire? That's called insider trading.
There's no way.
That's called lying. That's called using your stature and your position to get higher in life and line your pockets. That's why politicians shouldn't be career. If you're a politician, it should be something kind of like the president, where you get paid. Like the president only gets paid like $80,000 or something like that a year, like $100,000.
Something like that, yeah, something like that.
Hey, Trump was so cold, he ain't even need it. He said, "Keep your money."
He said,
That's
give me the $1 that I have to take, and everything else, give it away.
Keep that.
Yep.
Give it to the people, because I don't need it.
You will never probably ever find another politician that will do that.
Never. Biden's out here sending his son overseas to Russia and stuff to collude with them, and they out here making the crackhead.
And they called that a fake story. They this again goes to how disingenuous our political system is right now. They forced that story under the rug so that nobody would see it before the election, and then after the election, then they come out, oh yeah, there might be some validity to these claims.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous.
It is, man. And the fact that, you look at somebody like Hunter Biden, bro, talking about he like sniffed Cheerios or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly that was.
He's like, man, he was so high, he probably sniffed glazed donut dust. I don't know.
What was it?
It was terrible.
It was
and he's just talking like that. And everybody's like, yeah, this is our president's son. This is amazing.
Yeah.
What?
No, he's
out there making millions of dollars using his father's name.
Oh, yeah. But and then back to the Fauci thing, though, too, is that this dude, he hasn't seen patients in years.
He's not even practicing medicine.
So, but yeah, somehow he is still the leading example of how we should be dealing with everything in this country.
And I know y'all seen this dude wear his mask, double mask. Dude don't even wear it. As soon as the cameras go off, he yanks it off of his face.
Well, it's because they're vaccinated, right? But they still want to keep the control on the people. Mm-hmm. Like if you are vaccinated, take off your mask. I don't want to see you wearing a mask ever again if
Right.
you're already vaccinated.
If you're vaccinated and they're telling you to still wear a mask, I would be pissed. You just became a fucking lab rat
Yep.
for no reason. Like, you literally went and got a vaccine that you have no idea. They made the vaccine in 5 months, people. It takes literally the least amount of time.
That's
if you
because
do
they already
this,
had
10 years.
They already had it.
Yeah, they had it already
they had
made.
they had the vaccine.
Dude, they had this made. What was it?
This
it was 2 years ago. They had a meeting, and Bill Gates and all those politicians were there, and they did a fake scenario on what would happen if a pandemic happened.
Really?
And then what happened 2 years after that?
Yeah.
A pandemic. And nobody's asking questions about it. They literally did the entire exercise, and they knew all over the world how many people would die, how many issues would happen, what it would do to the world, and then they went and did it. They already had those vaccines in stock, bro.
Oh yeah. And if you don't have even just a little bit of doubt that this virus was completely human engineered,
It was.
then I don't know what else to do.
You think it came from a
I don't know what
bat?
to do for you, honestly. There's got to be something
Bro,
like there's
tell
some
me
sort
right
of
now that there's
disconnect.
not people out there that still really believe this came from a bat
No, there we are.
in
Absolutely.
a wet market.
Absolutely.
You think somebody got bit by a fucking bat
No, that they bit into
at a
bat.
market? They ate a bat, they
ate
bit
a
a bat,
bat.
they fucked a bat. I don't care. It happened in China. And you think that one person eating fucking whatever with a bat
And
completely destroyed the world with the virus that quick?
and nobody wants to actually point the fingers at China. Nobody.
Nobody wants to say China, but hey, we can make an anti-hate Asian rule
Oh yeah.
to protect the Asian. Can we get a black bill like that? Please, Joe Biden.
How about we just get a whole altogether bill saying you hate, yeah, you're going.
you
to
know
jail.
what? If you hate, you're going to jail,
That
including
is
black
so
folks.
stupid. Like, because I mean,
I agree.
I
agree.
get it. I do. I do get that black people have it harder in this country. I do get that. I do get it. But at the same point, we've got to stop making excuses for you know
Just
things
because
are
you
the way they are.
Just because
right?
we've been treated a certain way doesn't mean that it's okay for us to be racist against white people or anyone else.
or
just
any
because
other,
we've
right?
been treated bad.
So it boils down to everybody just needs to treat everybody with respect and dignity
Right.
that they deserve.
Right.
And if you're a piece of shit that harms other people, then I'm gonna treat you like a piece of shit.
True.
That's the way that it goes in this country.
yeah. And
But
you think about it, bro. It's like, let's just be real. Racism is really one of those things that's stuck in like our generation. Like, right? We're really honestly probably gonna be the last generation to have actually seen racism.
Like
bro.
real racism.
Like real
Right.
racism. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like our kids when they grow up and like, Generation X or Generation Z, is it?
I don't know. I can't
X,
keep
Z,
track.
whatever. I think we're
Elemental
Generation
P.
Z and they're Generation X.
I think I'm actually a millennial. Is the way.
We're millennials, man.
I think so. I think
Well, you're younger than me,
again.
though. Whatever.
Not much though.
Not much though.
Right.
Not much. I think
But-
like 5 years, but you're straight.
I think millennials started in like the early '80s. I think is when the
millennials.
I think
okay,
so.
so I'm a millennial now. I just realized that. But though, it's just really, really crazy to think that when the grandparents die off, and this includes black grandparents, when the black and white grandparents die off, racism is going to take a plunge. When people like Joe Biden and Pelosi end up passing away and stuff from old age, because they're damn near 90, the world is going to be different. When these people who are holding on to power die off, like, the Rockefellers and all of those different people, things are going to change.
Oh, yeah.
Because the younger generation is not worried about hate. We're worried about how to be happy and to enjoy our lives. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we've seen what the hate does. We want to do things differently.
Absolutely.
So that's why you see a lot more interracial relationships.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see a lot more interracial friendships. You see a lot more interracial hiring. Like, it's just a lot of different things going on where we really don't give a fuck about none of that silly
And
shit.
it's not, contrary to popular belief, it's not because of the policies that are being put in place. I mean, it's just people's attitudes are changing toward how we connect with other people of different backgrounds.
And if anything, these politicians are the ones that are creating this, creating these problems in this hatred within our country. Like, did you see how Pelosi and that other lady, like a few weeks ago during the riots, they were like, we need to get more violent. We need to stand up.
Waters.
If you see one of these politicians on the right eating food outside, you need to surround them and you need to get loud. And they are pushing violence. They're pushing all these things so that we can have more riots in the streets, so that the police can get out there and we can fight the police and do that. Dude, why are we not surrounding their homes? These politicians like Pelosi and Biden and all of these different, Fauci, they just go home in their cars every night.
They're the same people that will sit there and stand with defunding the police, but at the same time, they'll have at their house armed security guards.
Yeah, guns though.
Private security. Oh no, they have guns.
No, I'm saying we don't need to have.
Oh yeah,
guns.
we don't. Yeah,
we can't have guns, but they can have armed security.
Exactly, they'll have armed security,
sniper rifles,
because they can pay for it.
Yeah,
but to defend them,
they're not paying for it. We're paying for their communities. We're paying for that.
They're sitting there destroying by saying, "Oh yeah, go out there and riot in the streets."
Yeah,
they're not allowed to have that.
They don't even live in those communities.
Nope.
Did y'all even think about that? Like my people are sitting there rioting and everything, and
Maxine
I understand.
Waters flew from California to Minneapolis to sit there and say, "Go riot." She flew from a whole nother state.
I just don't
destroy
understand.
This state.
Yeah, destroy this state. I'm gonna go back to my cul-de-sac out there in the burbs. It's
so dumb. But I think one of my favorite quotes actually comes from an interview with Morgan Freeman. Okay. And he was asked, "How do you get rid of racism?" And he looked the guy in the eyes and he goes, "Stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. That's how you get rid of it. Stop making people divided by talking about how different people are. People are the same. Regardless of your skin tone, you are the same as me and Jarvis are. Mm-hmm. We are the same. I mean, we might have different political beliefs, we might have different ideological beliefs, but we are all of the same species."
He don't put sauce on his spaghetti. That's fucking gross.
I don't like sauce, but
you know what? He's still my friend.
It's whatever, and I'll get ridiculed for it later. And I don't get offended, so it's whatever.
Our differences are okay.
Exactly. So, but like I said, that was one of my favorite things that I've ever heard. It speaks so deeply to how divided the country has become that we actually have to sit there and say that.
Right.
That should just be a no-brainer.
It is, man. And at the end of the day, I was lucky enough to be able to serve this country in the United States Army. And being that I was able to do that and be deployed gave me an opportunity I was raceless. Like, of course, there was still some people in there that were racist and they did their thing. But for the most part, when we were at war, all you needed to do was look to your left and right and understand that it didn't matter what race that person was. They were going to help you come home, and you were going to help them come home. And that's all that mattered. We didn't talk about race.
So I wonder what it is, like, what exactly is it that when you join the Army that you got that sense, and what is lacking in American society?
It's because we don't have to survive together. When you have to survive with someone, you tend to take away that personal shield that you have, and you bond with people more because you get rid of those ideologies that you have and those thought processes that were taught on you, and you realize that, like, dude, this person next to me is going to determine if I come home or not. Right. And so when you get in that position and you start really, being with these people, you get in a position to see people for who they really are, bro. You don't just look at them like, oh, they're black, I'm not gonna be able to vibe with them. Right. Oh, they're white, they don't listen to. Dude, I know plenty of white dudes are like my best fucking friends now, bro. And we literally did everything together. Yeah. Like some of my best friends in the Army were white. And they helped me and they stood up for me and I helped. I thank y'all. Y'all already know who y'all are. But at the end of the day, there were still some assholes, bro. But it comes to that, all races have assholes.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to be able to get rid of that. I think that's just human nature. Like, you're going to have people that don't like people based on skin tone or ideology. Right. I mean, I know people personally that are of a conservative viewpoint that absolutely hate liberals, absolutely hate them, like with a passion hate them. And it doesn't make sense to me because I can listen to anybody talk and I can listen to anybody kind of explain their opinion. And if you can articulate it well, I'll listen to you. I might not agree with you, but I'll at least listen. But I'm not going to hate you for your opinions because your opinions are your own.
Right.
And you should be able to have them. But I just wonder what we could do in this country to kind of bring that mentality forward that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you know, it shouldn't have to be, you know, oh, we're in a life and death situation, you know, are we going to be able to make it home? Like there should be something else that we can do. And I don't know what exactly it is.
It's
like
just
in my
not
personal
tolerated,
mind,
bro.
right? It's not. And even in my mind, like in my mind, I don't have any sort of hate toward anybody. And I wonder what that is, the difference between like me and say somebody else that's like super racist. Like I wonder what that disconnect that they like between me and him. I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
So, but you know, maybe for another time we can look a little bit deeper
a lot
into
of
that.
it has, you know, I just feel like a lot of it has to do with how you grew up and experiences, bro. Like some people, like some people just don't like black people because they had a bad experience with a black person once, and that literally took over. And I hear that a lot.
See, but that should be. I had a bad experience with a person.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, that individual should obviously, you know,
Exactly.
whatever the experience was.
But that's not how they viewed it. And then it was like, just like there's some black people like, dude, I can't stand white people. I'm like, why? Because of now you're being just as bad as them.
Right.
You know, the ones that are like that. You know, and being that every race is like that, like there's a lot of black people that are racist, bro. Like they do not like white people.
I've talked to a lot of Hispanic friends of mine, and apparently there's a lot of racists in the Hispanic community too.
Hispanic people, a lot of Hispanic people don't like black people.
It's not segregated to one race, but for some reason we've extrapolated this white supremacy notion in our country that there's a white supremacist around every corner,
right?
And I don't see it in my personal life, and maybe it's just the people I'm hanging around. Maybe I don't hang out with a lot of people that are bad in that way, but I just don't see the evidence for there being this huge amount of racism where it's like what they're calling a pandemic in this country.
Right.
I don't see it.
Right. And then you know what? It's also where it really depends on where you are too, man. Like there's a lot of states that are worse than other states. You know, you could be in just a city that's just super racist like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, when I was in college and I went to school in Wisconsin, and I was on the way from a college. It was like a sister college called Wisconsin Whitewater. And I was in my Pontiac Grand Am, and it was me and like 3 of my buddies, and we were driving back to Wisconsin because I had practice the next day, and we got pulled over by a cop. And this cop said your tent was too dark, and I was like, I literally had it tested and everything. Nothing was wrong.
Right.
This white cop told me, he was like, you either take this tent off of your windows right now, or you're going to have to pay me $500 in order to,
Now, there are some crooked cops.
Right.
There are some
so
crooked
he
cops
literally,
out there.
we did not have that right then. We're college students, bro. Like, you know, like I ain't had money like that.
Right.
Not to give him anyways.
Right.
Dude, he made me take my tent off my windows, bro. We couldn't roll my windows down. Like, we couldn't do anything. And it just made me feel some type of way, bro, because like he literally did that because we were black men, bro.
So at that point, though, did you go complain or anything
actually,
like that?
It was actually kind of dope. He was smart because he didn't give us a ticket.
Okay, so
his name wasn't. So I didn't have his name, but I went back and I talked to our team police officer, and you know, he asked me where I was when it happened. And I don't know what happened though, man, but he actually went out and tried to do something, bro. Like tried to find out who was on that area and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know what happened though, but you know, I don't typically get a lot of racism because of, you know, like how I carry myself, and I'm a big black dude.
Well,
I'm not gonna really get a lot of.
And it's really interesting.
Straight up
I'm actually
racism.
reading or listening to a book right now by Jordan Peterson, and he kind of talks about like it's called the 12 Rules for Life, right?
Okay, I've heard of that.
And he talks about a lot of like personal things like that you can personally do to like perceive a better outlook on yourself and to have the world perceive a better outlook on you.
The energy.
And a lot of that is one of his rules is how you carry yourself. Stand up straight.
Yep.
with your head up.
Posture.
And it goes to show like how just by doing a couple things in your life, one of his other ones is make your bed when you wake up in the morning. Make your bed in the morning. That's one of the things that you can control. And maybe you can't go out and change the world right now, but you can start with the little things in your life and slowly expand that out. The more that you take care of the things that you're personally responsible for, the more you're going to be able to affect change on the outside.
Facts.
So it's just interesting that you bring that up. Like the way that you carry yourself, sometimes, it can be seen as either a detriment or a boost to your situation.
Right. And then also just like confidence and, how you talk to people. Man, so much of what's going on in our world has to do with how people talk to one another, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like some people talk to someone and try to demean them and try to make them feel like they're less than because of who they are. And it doesn't matter if you're black or white, if you're rich or poor, you respect everybody.
Yep.
You shouldn't talk down on people. And that's what's I
have a couple rules when it comes to that. So my first rule is I will respect anybody that I meet up until the point that they no longer deserve my respect. And then at that point, respect has to be earned.
Facts.
So if I'm meeting somebody brand new for the first time, absolutely 100%, I'll respect them until they give me a reason not to respect them.
Gotcha.
And then at that point, then you have to earn my respect back.
If they lose my respect or my trust, they don't get it back.
See, there's a little difference. I mean, and some people are like that, and some people like guard themselves very heavily whenever somebody does something wrong to them. And I know a lot of people like that. That once somebody has done you wrong, it's really hard for you to give that trust back out to the person, and especially if you're a person. And I don't know if I'm necessarily that kind of person, but I tend to once I like let you in. I do give a lot more, and I give like my all to that person. So if somebody does you wrong, then it kind of makes you guarded and want to put up that shield, and you don't as easily let that person back into your life.
True story. True story.
So
my wife always tells me that. She was like, babe, you have to start forgiving people. I was like, I can forgive them when I'm dead.
It's hard. It really is. It's hard.
I'm going to tell everybody, hey, if we ever have beef, I'm sorry. Let's talk it out in the next life.
Got all eternity to do it.
I got time for all the smoke. I'm not having it. But yeah, man, it's crazy that the things that we're dealing with in this country, bro, and the leadership that we have and the politicians that we have running this country. We need to drain the swamp, bro. We really need to drain the swamp.
And it kind of comes down to like a fundamental like premise. Is government should not be in charge so much that exactly what the government's doing. Mm-hmm. Government should be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like that's the way I kind of look at how government should be run is if they're making policies that dramatically affect my life, they're doing it wrong.
Right.
They should not be there to change every little aspect of how we go about our daily life. They should just be there purely in my opinion, they should be there purely to protect the rights that we already have.
Right.
So the rights lined out in the Constitution for us, in the Declaration of Independence, and all the amendments that follow. That's what government is there to protect. And if they're going above and beyond and expounding upon those amendments and changing policies, especially like with who can go into a bathroom or something like that, they should not be in charge of that. We should not be looking to government. And if you're one of those people that is looking to government to fix everything in your life, you need to take a look at your own life, and you need to take a look at your own personal responsibilities and see what you're doing wrong as to why you're not actually getting things out of your life that you're trying to get.
Facts. Big facts. Ghost out here spitting the truth.
Every once in a while I have my moments.
Man. But, bro, you're absolutely right, though, because there are a lot of people out here that don't know how to fix their own problems, and they think that the government is going to fix it for them. But you have to step out your box. You have to go and do things differently. You have to see how other people are living. So if you look at other situations, what other people are going through, it makes you appreciate what you're going through more, right? Reach out and try to help somebody. Reach out and try to be different. If your life doesn't have any, what do I want to say? If your life doesn't have any
Like meaning,
like you don't have anything that you go help somebody.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what you want to do with your life, go. If you're hateful and you say you hate black people or you hate Mexicans or you hate white people, go spend time with those people and see why you fucking hate them.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, you probably hate them for a stupid reason, and you hate one person. If one white person did you wrong, one black person, it's them. It's the individual. You're missing out on
Absolutely.
a whole group of people that could change your entire life. Guaranteed.
Man, now look at you getting on your soapbox.
Man, I'm just
spitting facts.
Bro. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, seriously though, I've changed a lot of white people's views on black people, bro.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like my thing.
I'm sure.
I love it. Next thing you know, they hit me up all the time. Hey, Jarvis, how are you? I'm like, oh, you like niggas now? What's up?
You didn't know once you go black.
What's up with me? Next thing you know, they coming over there and throwing me the handshake and stuff. I'm like, hey, Steve, hold on.
No, I'm still too white for that.
I'm had ghosts out here thugging in a few more years.
We'll see. But I mean, like you said, people need to take responsibility, and people need to get out there. And if you can't get out into like a program in your community or something, like, start with your family and friends.
Right. Exactly.
Find a family member, find a friend that is in need of something. I don't care if you agree with them, disagree with them. Find something that they need help with, and go help them.
True.
And not only is it gonna help them, but it's also going to help yourself.
Right.
Anytime that we can serve other people and help other people, it grows your spirit so much.
Right.
Like absolutely so much. Me personally, I'm involved in a lot of stuff in the church, and we go and do community outreaches. We go and do. Last year we went and made a whole bunch, thousands and thousands of meals that we sent to third world countries, and we just put all we were doing is an assembly line, and we're putting these meals together, and it's helping. So just go out there, find somebody to help, and I promise you guys, once you start helping people, that your perspective on life and your perspective on other people is going to change dramatically.
Facts. And start listening. If someone's crying out, if there's a group of people crying out, they're not just bitching, bro.
Yep.
There's something going on enough where people are coming together and they're crying out. If you're one of those people that hear these cries and your first response is, they need to shut up and stop bitching. What is the problem? You're the problem.
Yeah. And
that's what the problem is.
You don't necessarily even have to agree as to the reason why they're complaining about something. Just go out there, find out what's going on with them, and see what you can do to help.
Listen.
That's all you have to do.
For real. And just because you're helping someone or you're listening to someone else's problems and they're saying we need help with this, just because you help them doesn't mean that your life is going to be affected. If anything, it's going to be better for you.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Every other country, including China, Russia, all of our enemies, they literally have everyone together as one.
Yeah.
Everyone's the same.
Yep.
So even if you smarter than someone, you make more money than someone, that doesn't mean that they're going to hate you for that, right? You have to be able to move forward and not completely look at the past or completely look at what someone is teaching you about another race or about another group of people. You need to find out for yourself and make your own opinion and stop being scared. Nothing's gonna happen, y'all. I guarantee y'all, white people. If we get when we get equality and everything's fair, we are not going to start just hanging y'all from trees and burning y'all's neighborhoods down.
I'm going to need you to promise to me now.
I promise you. I promise you, it's not going to go crazy.
But
if y'all help fix the hood, we're not going to do anything.
It's only going to make everything better.
It's going to make this country better as one.
Yeah.
Imagine if everybody in this world everybody in this country was employed at some level. If we ended if we ended like hunger, and if we reached out to people who didn't have jobs and we helped them somehow, everything would be better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But until that happens, we'll still be here,
and we're gonna be talking,
and we will be talking all the crazy stuff, all the right stuff, all the facts, as much as we can, and we're gonna just try to help people understand that it doesn't have to be this way.
It doesn't, man.
It really doesn't.
Think for yourself. Go against the grain.
Have some personal responsibility, and we'll see you later.